Well, we've had a great convention so far, a great night last night. And the spirit of our time here is always one of reunion and fellowship. It's also a time that we get to celebrate the influence and the strength of Farm Bureau at the local level and the state level. And each year you charge me with giving an annual report to you, the membership, of what we've accomplished this past year. At the beginning of the year, North Carolina Farm Bureau was recognized with the Pinnacle Award. It is the first time that we've received this honor in back-to-back years. And this award is reserved for the 6 best farm bureaus in the country. It's based on engagement and outreach, partnerships, advocacy, and leadership development. Achieving this recognition 2 years in a row speaks to our consistent pursuit of excellence and the strength of our total team. You, our volunteers, our staff, the agency force, everyone. I am so proud and thankful for everything that you do for North Carolina Farm Bureau to make us, as you've heard Roy Lee and others talk about, one of the best Farm Bureau organizations in the country. Now, this is my 5th year as president, and I started off this year on a mission. I wanted to hear from you, our volunteer leaders, about what the future of Farm Bureau looks like. And we held 8 district meetings across the state. And I want to thank everyone who took the time to attend those meetings. And there were 3 themes that really came up during the discussion that I feel are important to keep in front of us this morning. First of all, at every meeting, our leaders brought up the issue of farm succession and farmland preservation. Now, both these issues are personal from farm to farm, and they're further complicated by external factors that are out of our hands. There is no one-size-fits-all solution to these challenges. But what we have done is try to bring more awareness to farmland preservation, all the efforts that are going on statewide, and we're trying to have honest dialogues with farmers about what works best for them. This will be an ongoing and a necessary conversation, especially as we work through not just the natural disasters, but the economic disasters as well. I know that there are farmers in this room who aren't sure if they can continue to farm. And it's not because they want to quit. It's because of the inflation and the record low commodity prices. You've heard it already this morning, but with the election behind us, it is time for us to get to work in building relationships with our newly elected officials and help shed light on the importance of farm profitability to all of our communities statewide. Our best continued efforts are worth it. You know, every time I get to go out on a young farmer tour and I see the little kids running around, it's a serious reminder that the next generation of agriculture is watching us. And if they want to continue the family farm or just enjoy rural life, they should have the opportunity to do that. And I believe that is the very essence of our Farm Bureau mission. A second theme that came up in our meetings was our leadership development and our educational programs. They matter. In fact, they are necessary to the future of Farm Bureau. We had so many county presidents and state board members and active volunteers to speak about how valuable their experiences were in the Young Farmers and Ranchers, the Women's Leadership Program, the LEAD program. Year after year, we see our investments in leadership development pay off. Just this past year, American Farm Bureau recognized 2 of our volunteers as 2024 Go Team Members of the Year for their outstanding advocacy efforts. Our young farmers and ranchers formed a statewide network to assist with all of the disaster relief efforts in the western part of North Carolina. The future of Farm Bureau is bright, but we cannot afford to become complacent. We must be intentional in our efforts to surface and grow leaders to carry Farm Bureau and agriculture forward. And you know, for us, this starts as early as elementary school. I am so proud of our Ag in the Classroom and our continued efforts to educate our children and teachers about the importance of agriculture. You know, I mentioned last night how proud I was of Heather Morton orchestrating the letter drive for Western North Carolina. That initiative is a clear example of grassroots at work, where you surface an idea locally and it develops into something positive for the entire organization. Next year, we will celebrate 40 years of Ag in the Classroom and the 40th Institute for Future Ag Leaders at NC State University. Now, the longevity of these programs speak volumes, and I'm very excited that we will kick off a new program, our very first EIFEL program at the University of Mount Olive in 2025. Now, the third theme that came out of our district meetings is that our leaders, you, care about the Farm Bureau brand. Many of our leaders brought up their concerns that people only think of us as an insurance company. Now, our relationship with Farm Bureau Insurance is so important, and it is no secret that insurance production drives membership, which makes it possible for us to do the advocacy, the leadership development, and the outreach activities that I've just talked about. We will report in January of 2025 that we have 648,156 Farm Bureau family memberships across this state, remaining one of the fastest growing state farm bureaus in the country. And what we find is that when counties have strong leadership as volunteers and they cooperate with a strong agency force, those counties are the most visible in their communities and they're the most successful at accomplishing the Farm Bureau mission. Now, as proud as I am of our insurance operation, and I am very proud of it, we all know that it is on us to do a better job of promoting the work of the Federation. All of us have a responsibility to put our heads together on how to share the importance of the mission of Farm Bureau and who we are. No legislative event or outreach activity is too small. And I want us to think of ways that Farm Bureau can become the go-to organization in all 100 counties. Everything that you do at the county level builds up the reputation of our brand, and that allows us to have the legislative wins for farmers that we need. Now, at those district meetings, I issued a challenge to all the leaders there, and I will issue the same challenge to you. Every farmer in your county should be a member of Farm Bureau, regardless of where they do their insurance business. It's $25, and it seems such a small price to pay for the legislative and the regulatory work that we are doing on behalf of all farmers in our state, whether they are members or not. Now, more than ever, we need to lean on our grassroots and the power of the grassroots organization here. And so I want you to consider this your call to action, and you've already heard it a couple of times this morning. Our focus in the near future is going to be building these relationships with the newly elected legislators and talking about the importance of farm profitability. With the dire struggles that we've faced this past year, farmers need immediate financial relief. And we need you to share your stories and help us as we fight in Raleigh and Washington. We have to let state and federal officials know about the necessity of disaster relief funds and ag-positive legislation like the Farm Bill. Now, our team came back from the district meetings looking forward to the work that we have to do. We're working to better educate on farmland preservation and the issues that surround it. We're brainstorming on how to take our leadership development to the next level. And we have a new focus on how the Farm Bureau Federation can have better brand awareness. We recently restructured our public policy and legislative teams so that they're working even more closely together. The legislative and regulatory issues tend to go hand in hand. So we believe this new alignment will build cohesion and help our advocacy efforts become even stronger. Now, we've also engaged in some broader initiatives that I believe will benefit farmers for generations to come. We have taken the necessary steps to empower our legal team to represent individual farmers through our legal foundation. The cases that they work on there will have significant impact on North Carolina agriculture. Additionally, we partner with the North Carolina Chamber and the Golden Leaf Foundation to lead efforts needed to formalize a strategic plan that will position North Carolina agriculture to succeed well into the future. The NC Ag Leads project is bringing all the key players in the agriculture sector together to agree on a set of priorities that would strengthen our industry. And we hope that the outcomes of this project will be another tool that we can use to achieve the policies that you pass at a grassroots level. Now, next year, Farm Bureau will turn 90 years old. And we did not get this far by sitting back and just waiting to see what happens next or being afraid of change. The longevity of Farm Bureau is due to our unwavering mission, but mostly it's due to the caliber of people who carry that mission forward. Now, as I close this message, I want to express my gratitude to several groups of people. First, you all know this, that Farm Bureau is a family organization, and none of us can accomplish anything without the support of our loved ones. I want to thank my wife, Tracy. This is not a role that I could ever imagine doing alone, and she is always supportive and patient with me as I travel this state and country. Would you please help me recognize her? I'm always grateful also for the leadership and the vision of our board of directors. You know, we sometimes joke them about doubling their salaries, but in all honesty, they make an investment of their time and their knowledge that doesn't have a price tag. The collective knowledge and commitment of our board is one of the reasons that our organization is so well respected to this day. So if you currently serve on the board of directors, would you please stand so that we can recognize you? Next, it's our staff. And I can't tell you how talented and professional this staff is. They just come to work every day, and for them, it's more than a job. It's a calling to do something that helps our farmers and our state's most important industry. They are respected and trusted wherever they may be, representing you, our Farm Bureau members. Our staff are key to building relationships and helping volunteers to be the best advocates they can be. I'm excited that we've added some new faces to our team this year. And I know that this is the best Farm Bureau staff in the country. I'd ask all of them to please stand, and would you help me recognize them? Now, I hope you can tell how proud I am of that whole staff, but this morning, I want to take a moment and especially recognize our 3 Western field reps, Callie Carson, Luke Beam, and Jimmy Cowan. Would you please stand? In the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, Callie, Luke, and Jimmy have gone above and beyond the call of duty. The three of them had to deal with their own personal challenges, but that has not stopped them from doing whatever it takes to help their neighbors and to keep Farm Bureau strong in their districts. Thank you. Finally, I cannot tell you how proud I am of you, our volunteer leaders. In what has been what I've called a biblical year of disasters for North Carolina agriculture, there's something that has given me a lot of hope, and that's our Farm Bureau people. From east to west, we've rallied around each other, neighbors and friends, checking on each other, organizing relief efforts. I could give you countless examples of Farm Bureau heroes doing what we do, protecting each other with love and care when the times are tough, hanging on to each other in faith, and looking toward better days. I believe we will get through the aftermath of all of our literal and figurative storms and emerge stronger on the other side because of the spirit of unity that we all share. Thank you to all of you for what you mean to me and to North Carolina Farm Bureau. And I thank you for this opportunity. I wish you and your families many blessings in the coming new year.